While other senior citizens enjoy bingo or dominoes as a hobby, Coral Gables resident Eugenia McCrea invests her time helping the youth at the Easter Seals.
And somebody asked me one time, well, what are your hobbies? People play cards, And I said, my hobby is the Easter Seal and the Gilded Lilies. And so I'm happy when I'm here because I know I'm being helpful.
McCrea has driven to Miami's Easter Seals to volunteer her time for about 40 years. Although she is in her 80s, her age doesn't discourage her to play the role as a teacher's assistant. She works with Down syndrome and autistic children.
And I share this with other people. When they come here, they feel like we're a family. And that kind of explains it.
McCrea wakes up in the morning to drive from Coral Gables to Miami. She has volunteered in several areas, including answering phones and stamping cards at the program. She volunteers 3 times a week and works in the morning. Not only does she help with children, but also lends a hand distributing food at the cafeteria.
Many times when I wake up in the morning, I say, oh, gosh, I think I'll tell him I'm not coming today. And I get myself up and I say, you are going today.
McCrea has encouraged her family to get involved as well as friends.
The way to really get them to come down is when they come here one time and see the students and the facilities and what they're doing, they come back. But when they come, we hook them.
She finds comfort and love for those she helps. Congratulations to this edition's Golden Pride. Golden Fact: 1/5 of elderly people seen in primary care today have depression that has a significant effect on their well-being. The holidays are a time for families to get together and enjoy each other's company or share some stories. But unfortunately, some senior citizens are left behind at retirement homes or living facilities, causing depression. Therapist McCrea said it is important to take care of the elderly.
Loneliness, being isolated. Many are in adult living facilities or if not in a nursing home. And for many of them, they feel that they're abandoned or have been abandoned.
Alicea said depression is something common in the elderly population.
In the early part of my career as a therapist, while I was in training, I had the opportunity to work at one of the largest adult living facilities in the state of Florida here in Miami. And during the holiday seasons, you would see all these elderly people, just in the hallways or in their rooms, isolating. They were either isolating themselves or would actually congregate, say, in a cafeteria or an eating room area or a common area, just to be close in proximity to someone else. But you could tell they were very lonely. Many of them you would find crying because their family members were not coming to see them as much as they should.
Tiredness, lack of energy, sleep problems, aches, and pain are all symptoms of depression. People aged 65 and older accounted for 16% of suicide deaths in 2005, according to agingcare.com. The United States population of the elderly is 12%. Alicea advised to take a minute out of your busy schedule and share some time with loved ones.
The only real solution is for, siblings, family members to take the time out to actually go and visit these people.
Some of the elderly will be in denial that they feel lonely.
They'll choose to be isolated than burden someone. But I guess if you're really, if you're a family member, you're a sibling, and you know your parents, grandparents, whoever they are in these facilities, you know what they're really asking for. I mean, it's one thing what they're saying, it's another thing what they really want.
He suggests to invite the elderly to holiday parties.
Well, if that elderly person is not completely disabled, then I would recommend picking him up. Bringing him over to your home, for dinner. I mean, it's not a question of the dinner itself. It's just being around, people.
For more information on elderly depression, visit agingcare.com. Golden Fact: The oldest athlete to compete in the 2012 Olympics was Hiroshi Hekutsu. The 71-year-old participated in equestrian. Aside from the gifts, the holidays call for great food. It's a time where we can enjoy dishes we don't particularly eat throughout the year. But remember, stay active to feel healthy. There are several fitness regimens that can help you stay in shape accordingly to your age and doesn't consist of lifting weights. Pilates is one of them.
And there are some similarities between yoga and the Pilates movement, except then Pilates takes in obviously the equipment, but then also focuses more on the core training as well.
Seaver said the exercise is for all men and women of all ages.
Well, for seniors in particular, it's really recommended that they do 4 different kinds of activity. They need to do something where they're doing their cardio for their endurance, and that's good for their heart. They need to do something for flexibility to stay limber. They also need to do something for strength training with resistance to keep their muscles toned and strong, and then they need balance training. So Pilates gets 3 of those.
Pilates requires the person to use the machines you are looking at. It uses springs, it is adjustable, but anyone can do these exercises. All you need is to dedicate time and practice.
Well, yeah, there's resistance and it's adjustable, so it can be increased to make it more challenging, or we can decrease it as well if they need something a little gentler. And Pilates is great too because, like I said, you can put them in different positions that maybe they can't do on the machines at the gym, and it's very supportive for their bodies.
You will have to incorporate other exercises to cover cardio since Pilates doesn't focus on that area.
It's a mind-body exercise, so unlike some of the exercises where you just go in and you just throw yourself into the activity, the idea is to really zone in, focus on the muscles that you're utilizing so that you can do it properly.
Golden fact: more than 15 million Americans provide unpaid care for a person with Alzheimer's or other dementias. Alzheimer's is a mental disease affecting the United States by an alarming number. Studies suggest that 60% of Americans have personal experience with someone with Alzheimer's disease or serious memory problems. That's why Home Instead Senior Care has launched a workshop catering to family members affected by the disease. Gabriel De Armas of Home Instead Senior Care said the class will benefit those living with a family member suffering from the disease.
What we do is we act as a community resource to try to either facilitate that care through Home Instead Senior Care or to at least do these educational workshops where sons and daughters and aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters can all come and learn about these behaviors and try to not end them but alleviate them.
The free workshop provides information for caregivers, which there is a shortage. Those who attend learn everything from determining symptoms to how to control patients and understanding the disease.
Well, there is an estimated 800,000 seniors with Alzheimer's living alone without any care.
One of the techniques suggested by professionals conducting the workshop is keeping a live journal of the patient.
Being a farmer 50 years ago can still tell you how to mount a horse, or can still tell you about the first time that he went out with his wife on a horseback ride. So there's no reason why we can't bring that out and encourage that and talk and write it down. Write it down, because in the end, those are going to be the keepsakes, and all we have in life is our memories.
The free workshop will be held throughout the Miami-Dade County area. For information on where the next workshop will be held, call 786-845-0888. Thank you for watching. Here's a recap of all the information featured on this edition of Golden Gables.